From the age of about 3, maybe 5, no, 3 to about 12, I grew up on a road that was primarily boys, and they had older sisters, but that's what they were, older sisters. They didn't hang around, they didn't have time for us. And it was me, and it was about 3 in particular that hung out the tightest. And then there were a couple of extras, and just really had a good time. I mean, it was strange because we all went through puberty at the same time, so we would end up, one of them's parents had this big garage where they stored a boat and stuff, and we would all end up in there going through the Playboys and looking at the body parts, and the boys are like, God, when you grow up, do you think yours are going to look like this? And I'd pull my shirt up and I'd be like, I don't know, because we had no qualms with each other. We were all 3 years old when we started swimming in the swimming pools naked together, you know, and we just grew up together. We were brothers and sisters and no big deal. Now, it did get very interesting, and my mother does not know this, but then we went through puberty together, so there were times where we, you know, hands would creep and crawl and say, what does that feel like, or what does that feel like, or do you like it when I do that? Or we would play truth and dare, and there'd be a lot of nudity involved. Truth or dare, you know, got to tell me this, or you've got to take your pants off and let us all see your goods. And, you know, well, the whatever truthful question was something you obviously didn't want to answer, and you didn't want to take your pants off, so, I mean, you were stuck, but we would play those kind of games. I sound horrible, and I absolutely apologize. But if you've seen other videos, then you know that I just sound horrible. We also, I remember one of the boys was more into rodeo, and he would have these big round barrels, these plastic barrels, that he would, you know, ride the horses through, you know, barrel racing and stuff. And he had gotten swooped and decided to rope them all together and drag them up and over this hill that we had at the end of the road and put them in a tank and see if they could float. And I remember all of us dragging that thing up there, and it was a mess. I mean, it was like 3 of those barrels, a whole bunch of rope, and a couple of wooden pallets, and drag it all up there, and I wasn't getting in the water. I'd already seen a couple of snakes go into the water, you know, when we got closer, so I wasn't going in the water. And I remember the boys getting out about halfway into the water, and the thing just starts disintegrating and falling apart, and they're all freaking out. It was the funniest thing in the world. I remember us all just hanging and watching movies. I remember us getting into more trouble than we should and doing things that I should never talk about on here, but it was a lot of fun. You know, the sisters didn't like me. There was one time they called me over to the house. They were sitting in a swing, and they called me over, and I went over, and they were like, "Come here, we want to show you something," and took me behind this house and stripped all my clothes off, and they were like there, and I run home, you know, and it was like 10, 20 houses to my house. Well, probably 12, but. And I was hiding behind every bush and behind every car, and thank God, our laundry room was outside of our house, so I was able to scoot into the laundry room and grab something out of the dryer and just walk in like that's what I'd been wearing, because had nobody been paying attention to me. But anyway, it was me and a whole bunch of boys, and I miss them, and I've tried to Facebook them, and they want no part of it, and I've called a couple, and they want no part of it, you know, and I just wanted to say hello. Get a grip. I'm not going to tell your wife how you used to get me off in the kitchen and rub all over me before your mama got home from work. You know, I'm not going to tell you, Mama, how you would drop your pants and your dick would get hard and you would say, I don't know exactly what we're supposed to do with it, but I looked in my mom and dad's bedroom one night and she had it in her mouth. You know, so come on, I'm not going to tell stories. Well, I guess I just did. Huh? Guess maybe you should have answered the phone. Really, didn't mean for that to come out, but whatever. And that was up until, like I said, 12. And I didn't do it, but he was trying to convince me I should. But all the boys did. You know, I was the girl, they were the boys. Puberty hit. We had magazines with pictures. And that's pretty much all we need to know. Anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Be cool. Peace out.